Hey guys, and welcome to the next episode of One Credit Reviews. And I am here with as usual, my trustworthy partner in crime, Daz from Down Under. Say hello, Daz.
Say hello, Daz. I'm doing well. How you going, Mats? Doing well?
You're paying attention.
Yes, I am.
I'm doing pretty well. Freshly out of bed. Thank God no one can see my hair. And yeah, I'm doing good, despite that.
I missed you, buddy. It feels like it's been forever.
It's been far too many weeks.
Yes.
Why don't we do this more often? Probably because it's such a huge pain to get Discord to work, but hey.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, we have a very special guest star again this time, Mr. Toploader. Say hello, Mr. Toploader.
Say hello, Mr. Toploader.
Everyone is doing my bidding. I'm delighted.
Whatever Daz can do, I can do just slightly a little bit better.
That's it.
So, what do you do?
What do I do? Well, I do a bit of YouTube, I do a bit of Twittering, that's pretty much really all I do in the gaming realm, apart from playing the games themselves, of course, and working 9 to 5 every day, then coming home, bit of YouTube, bit of Twitter, bit of work, and that's it.
Anyway, if you want to know more about these gentlemen, there's links in the description as usual that are very click-worthy, very juicy, so click them and check them out. So, we're going to have a look at a game called Metamorphic Force, and Toploader picked the game, so tell us why you picked this one.
Well, I picked this game because I've got a main arcade setup. It's a 4-player setup. And me and my son play it pretty much every weekend. When I'm not doing the YouTube, when I'm not doing the Twitter, whatever, we play a game on the arcade mostly. You got a lot of games to choose from, so sometimes we'll just go through a list and we'll just randomly pick a game. One day, we just went down the list and randomly picked the game, and that was the game that we picked. And from there on out, my son and me, we kind of like playing it a lot. It's a very simple game, but for whatever reason, he really loves playing it. So every time I fire up the arcade machine, most weekends, it's one of the main games that we play, because it's just simple, pure fun for us to play together, basically.
Yeah, that's what I love about MAME, just, random picking a game and just finding a gem. So, the game is released by Konami in August 93, I believe, and apparently it's one of Konami's last side-scrolling beat-em-ups to appear in the arcades anyway. And it runs on the same hardware as Mystic Warriors, which I haven't played, but I assume that is another beat-em-up, right?
Not really. It's more of a shoot-em-up. It's a lot like Sunset Riders.
Oh.
There's actually a Sunset Riders screen in the game itself. You go through like a drive-in with cars, and it's up on the screen. Sunset Riders is playing in the screen.
And the game is a up to 4 simultaneous players co-op game, but there is actually a dip switch on the arcade board that allows you to set it to 2-player mode only, so I presume there are also versions of the cabinet with only 2 pairs of controllers. And the plot, shall we do the plot?
Go for it.
Yep, go.
It's about the evil King Death Shadow, and I gotta give them points for that name. Amazing. And he is the ruler of the Empire of Horror. Great empire, really the place to be back in those days apparently. And he's risen from the dead to once again try and rule the world. But the Greek goddess Athena has summoned 4 ancient guardians and bestowed powers upon them to stop the evil once again. But basically, it's the gimmick of the game. The powers are that you can turn into an anthropomorphic beast to beat the living snot out of your enemies. So that sums it up, pretty much. Great plot, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I found this game to be Altered Beast, cross Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade, and Crime Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That was my first impressions. Like it much better than Altered Beast, but I think it's actually what Altered Beast really should have been, because I love Altered Beast, but it has not aged very well, I find. People still love it, and I still do too, but yeah, it's definitely not aged the best for me, but it's definitely got the memories.
And anyway, back to the Metamorphic Force arcade game. The game was listed in Game Machine in the September issue 93, and I think it topped up at the 17th most successful table arcade unit of the month. Mm-hmm. So it was reasonably successful, and it did quite well, I think, in North America and in Europe as well, although I don't know exactly how well, but I think it did pretty good. I did have a dig around for the developers of the game, and I found the credits, and I haven't really been able to figure out who actually directed or designed the game. Maybe it's a shared effort, I don't know. But as usual, when it comes to Japanese credits, they are a little bit unclear about who did exactly what. I do know that the executive producer, Masahiro Inoue, I think was involved with Aliens, another Konami action game. And this
Great game. Great game.
Definitely.
Yeah, there seems to be some connections, both kind of visually and, gameplay style-wise between the games.
The same era, I guess, same type of time period.
Some of the other devs were involved with... actually, a couple of them were involved in Turtles in Time. Two of the graphical designers did work on Turtles in Time from 91 as well.
The music guy did it for, I think, the original Turtles in Time and the original arcade as well for Turtles, so... It's got that Konami sound. That Konami sound is so distinct anyway. You kind of it's like a Konami game. You can kind of tell it's a Konami game.
And also interesting, the sound effects guy, Yuichi Sakakura, was also involved in Gyruss. So that's pretty cool. Pretty old school developer.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not at the time, but yeah.
He's old now.
Well, yeah, he is now, so... So it's kind of interesting to see that some of the devs only worked on Metamorphic Force and I think one other similar game, whereas some of the others just worked on a whole bunch. So it's like an interesting team that they put together. But again, not sure who actually did the design, if they had like a director or a designer, or it was maybe the producers that did that, possibly the executive producer. But I did actually manage to find something a little bit more concrete about the artwork on the flyer, which is pretty cool.
Definitely.
Actually, I quite like it. It was done by Hideaki Kodama. He was a freelance artist that made a fair amount of illustrations for Konami and also worked on many other things like book covers, etc. And he was an absolute beast at airbrushing. He's done some amazing work, and he was apparently born in Ogakishi, not sure where that is, in 1952, and I think he's still possibly active, not entirely sure, but yeah, worth checking out because an amazingly talented artist. So, guys, have you got anything to say about the any information you found?
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it, because like I said to you before, the music really... I really love the second level music the most out of the whole game, and the visual of it with the fire. It's called the Fire Caverns, I think, and in fact, that's where I really started to really like the game. I liked the music in the first level. It had the Greek mythology stuff, statues, and then it went to this fire pit. I was like, this is really cool. It's actually really pumping me up to get the game going, because it's got this hard rocking track, and I just really liked that about it.
Yeah.
So it's a very rock-based soundtrack.
It's very Konami. It's very Konami.
Yeah.
Are we going to mention the different versions we played? So I played the US one. Is that what you guys are saying?
Because when I saw it, I was like, what is he playing? Because it's got a different health bar. The Japanese, I don't know what the Europe version's like, so I didn't even play that one, but the Japanese one's got just a health bar, whereas the one that you played, Daz, the US version's got like a counter, but is your health in the counter, I believe? I haven't played that version, so I don't know exactly. You might have to go into that yourself. But yeah, apparently also the different Stage 5 has a boss rush mode, which is completely taken out of the Japanese version, so there's no boss rush mode there, and I think they said it's slightly easier as well, the Japanese version. So
not sure if it's actually the case, but I read that too, that it's supposedly easier, which is strange. It was usually the other way around. And I think also there's a couple of sprites that are different. I don't know which ones.
I think it was the stained glass windows. A stained glass windows, which usually has religious like things on it, you know what I mean? So I don't know which one. Apparently near an elevator or something. I can't remember exactly, but they said a stained glass window.
And I think I thought I played the European version, but I'm not entirely sure. We're going to have to check it out and see if we can find the health bar. But
I think the ROM has the European and the Japanese I think it's the same or similar. I don't know, but I think the health bar is the same in those two versions. The US has got a completely different health bar on its own,
The health bar was looking too religious.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
You can't have that.
All right, Mr. Top Loader, would you like to show us your playthrough?
Yes, absolutely. I'll just push play on the button. Can you all see it?
Yeah, I can see the self-test.
Perfect.
The best bit.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. I never know if I'm going to get to play the game or not.
There's the four guardians that they're called. The four guardians that have been resurrected from the goddess, I guess, to fight the evil at the end. Stage 1. Now, who am I playing as here? I forgot his name. What is his name?
The guy with the amazing hair.
Yeah, he's the panther guy. I love him. He's no, I changed it. I was gonna use the other guy with the hair. The stop animations when he stops, he flicks his hair. But this guy, I'm not sure what he does. 'Cause I didn't stop. I just went in and I went for it.
Yeah. I love the guy that's the panther because he stomps people so vigorously.
Max is his name. I've got it written down. His name's Max.
Max.
Yeah, so we've got two. So the other guy is Claude. He's a French swordsman.
Ah.
So, and the other character is Ben, which is he's actually a judoka, which is judo. So I'm actually a judoka myself. So judoka actually means a judo player. So when you say judoka, that means someone that studies the martial art of judo. Yes. So
interesting.
And his colours is orange and purple, and he wears sandals. So. And the last one is Ivan. I'm not sure which one Daz chose, but Ivan, he's a big Russian guy. He's like a hunter or something. So he turns into a bear, and Ben, he turns into a minotaur. So he turns into like a bull.
Minotaur is cool. I like that. I didn't play that guy, I think.
I like the rain effects in this part of the level.
Yeah, looks nice.
I love rain in all arcade games.
And also, we should perhaps mention that you pick up that golden statue is what triggers the beast mode.
That's right. They call it the beast mode. So you got the statues that they lie around. So it's like, you know, Golden Axe, the little elf dude that comes running out, and you got to hit him and he gives you stuff. Well, this guy comes out on this screen. I'm not sure what he's called. You get the statue, and then you turn into beast mode. And if you get the statue again, he actually powers up and he goes around the whole screen and he wipes out all the enemies that are on there. So I love that part. It's a nice visual too. So that move I just did then, where he pounds the ground, that's actually a punch and a jump. There's only two buttons, a punch and a jump. You push them at the same time, and he pounds the ground. They all do something different, but as that was back then, it takes a little bit of your health bar away, which is always annoying. Yeah, he's dancing. Look, there's that stop animation where he's just dancing, not flicking the hair, because he's got no hair. The Panther, he ain't got no hair. He's not Claude. He's not the swordsman. This is actually my son's favorite character. He should put a wig on, really. Yeah, he should. To fit in with the rest of the crew. But this is my son's favorite character. He loves the Panther. So I've actually got the... even though I'm playing on the 2-player setup here, my mains is set up for the 4-player. So you can't actually... you got to sit in a specific spot before you can... if you want to choose a character, you got to sit in a specific spot. The version I'm playing here is actually on a computer. So I'm actually... well, they're all on computers, but... it's a different ROM that I'm playing here, and it's only the 2-player one, so you can choose whatever you want and sit wherever you want.
Yeah, Turtles Arcade did that same too. It had the 2 different ROMs as well. So
yeah, they did, and I think X-Men did the same. With you sit where you're placed. I actually find that annoying, but I guess you can't. You know, if you're all playing at the same time, it's hard to really choose. So I guess that's why they did it. But that really does annoy me. Now that's the little guy that comes and gives you the statue. Sometimes you gotta either hit him,
beat him up,
or you either hit him, or sometimes if you wait long enough, he'll just drop it. But right there, I was actually waiting for him to drop it, but he didn't drop it, so I just hit him, and he put it out for me. So, and this is
that cracks me up. That cracks me up so much. Dead soon.
I know.
Dead
I love
soon.
It. But that's actually I actually put that. I put that in my notes. So dead soon. Yeah, I know. It must be like it's just right there in your face. When you go back to human, if you're a beast long enough, you go back to human. When your health bar goes low, and it will say back to human. Where it says dead soon, it will say back to human as well. So when you revert back. Yeah, I'm not sure if I do it in this version. I'm not sure if I do it in this playthrough, I should say, but when I was playing it just before we come on here today, it was saying back to human, which means I was low on health, and it just put me back to human, then I just died just after that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the whole game is actually very generous with its power-ups. I mean, I went through one credit here. I wasn't trying my best, but it's like, well, I haven't died yet. And there's a lot of energy. Like, you play some other games like Turtles, man, they hardly give you any energy at all, because I really wanted to suck the money out in those arcades. But look, there's energy lying around everywhere here. Like, and it's a simple game, and it's a short game as well, but you can go further without putting a whole lot of money into it, I think, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I picked this.
You went with the big guy.
Yeah, I picked him by accident. I was like, he's like the worst one. But
That's Ivan.
I didn't mind him in the end.
Yeah.
But I actually did all right.
He's like the Hagger of the group. Final fight free Hagger.
Yeah, I can see that. for that armor on him.
Yeah.
I loved what I did here. How I just hit that back,
with the log.
that thing. Yeah, how I hit that axe, whatever it was, away. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was by accident.
Yeah, sometimes you just get all these happy accidents when you're playing these gameplays.
Yeah.
Here comes the rain again. Got the big bear. So it's the big bear. So it's a big enforcer, right? So you got the big guy. You got two big guys and you got two skinny guys, basically. So you got two big guys to choose from and two little guys. They're both blonde for some reason.
He just hasn't got really good reach, this guy.
Nah, well,
I like his reach, yeah.
He's kind of got a pot-bellied though, eh? Like for a bear, he's got a bit of a pot. Maybe he's had too many bear beers, you know? I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I think he's been knocking back a few too many.
Oh, look, your hedgehog friend is back.
Oh, look, he's trying to get through.
Whatever that thing is.
The little elf dude, you're trying to get through, you keep knocking him back. He wasn't giving you too much, I don't think.
I like this guy, the way he speaks. It reminds me of X-Men, that welcome to die. It's got that really Konami audio, you know?
I know, it's just classic. I love that.
Yeah.
I
I think they did Japanese voiceovers as well for this one, I think.
Yeah, well, because I said I played the Japanese version, but it might have been maybe it was a European one, because yeah, that's true too. But you'd think they would use the Japanese voiceovers if it was the Japanese ROM, if they had a Japanese voiceover version. Sometimes maybe they don't have a Japanese voiceover version, but you think they would though. Back to human. There you go. See, look, back to human. See it?
Yeah, back to human. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if that's time based or if that's I'm not sure if that's time based or if that's if you're low on health. But you got the health bar there, so that's weird.
Yeah.
You have got the health bar there. I was
gonna say it looks the same as yours. Looks the same as yours.
That's strange. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't see any difference between the three videos we captured. I think it's
because
maybe it's the European version. This.
Well, look now. I hate these. I hate these stupid Sonic the Hedgehog blanket things.
Mate, they just knock you out, man. They do.
You can't take them from behind.
They drive me insane. So this is my second playthrough with this. What is the wolf guy, right?
Yeah. So wolf guy. Let's have a look who wolf guy is. Oh, that's Claude. He's the French swordsman.
Okay, yeah.
White wolf. White wolf.
Right. It's the guy with the stomp as well. I think he's stomping on people's head. Bit of a sadist, but I like him.
I'm back on level 2 with 14. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna kick butt and dead again.
It's the hedgehog, mate. I'm telling you,
I hate that. But Blanca hedgehogs.
They hate you.
Blanca hedgehogs. All right, where are we?
They may as well pick your pockets too while you're there, because that's what they're doing to every kid playing it.
Yeah. Okay, all right, this is my last one. I'm straight to this boss again now, so I'm with the Panther guy.
Oh, you tried them all out, mate. Just about.
Just about, yeah.
I will say there's no female representation here. What's going on there? Like they usually throw in a girl somewhere, don't they?
Yeah, and usually.
They didn't. True.
There's a girl at the end. She's a boss. They call her She-Devil. You fight her in the Colosseum. She's one of the last bosses. Oh,
this guy is the bad guy. He's a satanic symbol. Yeah.
Well, he looks evil, doesn't he? Really? Look at his biceps just exploded. Then you saw it right before he exploded.
Yeah. That's very icky.
Well, look, 84. Yeah. No, I did really well this time. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna beat level 2.
Well,
so watch this.
Got almost a full health bar going into this now.
Yeah.
So it depends really on the hedgehog guys if they mess you up. I know you haven't told us what happens, but go on by what we've seen before. They're going to take a lot of energy away.
Boom. Yeah, look.
Yeah, look at them. I know. Look at them. Look at them.
Again.
Yeah, that's why Sonic was such a great game. You know, he's so powerful.
Look at that.
Really, the same spot, mate. That's just, you know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. It's like NBA Jam. They want you to put more credits in this spot of the game, you know?
Well, after this, now that was it. I had to turn it off. I can't do it anymore. So I haven't played it since.
You reached the boiling point there.
Yeah, it pissed me off. So
that's respectable.
Yeah, I was done.
I mean, it only took you like three goes to get to the same spot, but that's respectable.
Six goes. I told you that was my second recording. But yeah.
Now, I'm going to go with my second attempt. I think I'll stick with that because, it's pretty. I did play with 3 different characters, but I think this is my favorite one. Yeah, so this is the French guy,
Here he is,
my
yeah.
favorite. I tried 3 different characters,
Get the jab.
but I like this guy because he's very
Nimble.
stompy.
Yeah. He stomps him. He's nimble too. Yeah, look, he jumps up there. He's like the guy, from Final Fight. It's a bit like Guy a bit. He
Yeah,
jumps
yeah.
around. He's got the kicks going. He looks like he's got a good kick to him. I really feel a kick
Fast.
every time he kicks. Look, he just punches them out of the way.
You
Kicks them
reckon?
out of the way. And they explode. I like that little animation.
Powerful feet.
I have to say, I do have to say that the hit detection is very questionable in this game, though, as well.
Okay, just because you didn't get past level 2, okay, buddy? You can't blame the controls all the time, all right? Questionable.
It's a Sonic
It could be
blankets.
worse.
Hey, was there any arcade games where it was not questionable with the hit detection back then? Come on.
No.
Yeah, I guess.
I must say, it must be rather busy having 4 players on screen at the same time. I
Yeah.
haven't tried it, but I mean, there's really a lot of things happening with just one player. How about 4? That's going to be mayhem.
Especially, yeah, the sprites are massive. Yeah, the sprites are massive.
I do have to apologise. This isn't Thor, this is Max. He's the American boxer.
Yeah.
Is it Max? Oh, you lied to me.
The problem is, they all look, there's 2 of them look the same, and the other 2 look the same. That's what's the problem. And the colours are orange as
Yeah.
well. Like the 2 big guys, they got orange in it, and these 2 guys, they got blue, I think. So it's very easily to get them mixed up, okay? So I apologise.
Yeah, I can see that becoming a problem when you're like 4 players on screen at the same time. I can imagine, getting pretty confused.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
it's a fun game, I have to say. I really rather enjoyed it. I'm not really into brawlers, but I quite enjoy this one.
Yeah.
But as that said, it's a little bit iffy sometimes
Yeah.
with the hit detection and the controls and where
Yeah.
you need to be and how you block. But you do figure it out as you play it more and more. So definitely one of the better brawlers I've
It's
played, I
fun.
should say.
It's fun.
I'm honestly surprised I didn't hear about it much more back in the day. I guess because they had bigger names to worry about, like, like we've said, like Ninja Turtles, X-Men, all that stuff. They had the bigger branding, but you didn't.
Yeah.
I don't even think I saw this in an arcade. And I went to a lot of arcades,
No.
like we all probably did. But I never even saw this one, so I'm not even sure if it came to
Well,
Australia.
Well, in 93 was when arcades were starting to die. There
Yeah,
weren't
Yeah,
that many back
pretty
then.
much dead over here, so
Yeah.
I've never seen this one in the arcades, and sadly.
But we had arcades in Brisbane, but they kept going for a good while into the 90s. They were going up to the 3D games about 95, 96, with the Virtual Fighters and all that. But they
Yeah.
had a lot of arcade games still around where I live. So they always had a lot of the most popular ones. I never ever remember or even seen this one at all. So I wish I had seen it, because I would have played it. I would have liked it. Definitely. I love it now, so I would have loved it back then.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until you mentioned it, so... Yeah.
And it did quite well worldwide, so
I did.
kind of
I
strange that you
did.
haven't seen it. I mean,
I just wish they'd port stuff like this. Like, there's so many games, like the game we mentioned before, Mystic Warriors, which came out before this from Konami. I've got a Konami collection, but it's got like old arcade games. It hasn't got any of these like brawlers. Capcom's got their brawler, their set. So Konami, I don't think they have a set where it's just got like these 16-bit
Yeah.
brawlers, do they? I'm not sure.
Nah. Wait, but I want to see,
Not
is he
sure,
going to get killed by
really.
these Sonic blankers?
I think eventually I will get killed by them, but I do manage to survive for a bit. I did find some tactics to deal with them.
Yeah.
Oh,
But they are
dead
a bunch
soon,
of
and he's human.
twats.
Oh, you're gone. You're gone. Yeah, he's dead.
No, I think the mistake was they moved over and turned their backs towards me,
Yeah.
and I didn't see that until it's too late. When you attack them from behind, you get sonicked.
It's
To put it mildly.
So, it's that skull. Did anyone make it past that skull? Did we all die at that skull? I'm not sure. Like, well, you died at
Pretty
the skull.
much, yeah.
I did, but I did break
I think
it.
I got a little bit further on my final attempt, but not much further. The game runs at a resolution of 288 times 224 pixels at 59.18 hertz. Another somewhat weird refresh rate. And it's got a Motorola MC68000 CPU as its main CPU, and also got a Z80 as its audio CPU at 8 MHz. Control-wise, the game has 8-way joysticks, and it's got either, I think, 4 of them or 2 of them. And it's got 2 buttons. But the interesting thing is, there is a third button in main reserved for the game, which would indicate that they initially maybe intended to have a third button in the game, but kind of dropped that idea for whatever reason, because it doesn't do anything. It's assigned to space, and nothing happens when you press it. So I presume that it was just dropped in at some point when developing the game. But that's kind of interesting.
It's probably that special move, because you got to push them both at the same time. Maybe they just thought, oh, instead of pushing a third button, we'll just push them at the same time.
But yeah, that was the technical side of things. Shall we pass judgment and hand out the awards?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I would give it, honestly, I was going to go half, but it's not quite a 4. It's not quite a 3.5. I reckon it's about more of a 3.8, because it's short game, it's simple game, but it is simple fun. My enjoyment level is probably about a 5. It might be a bit higher than everyone else's, but that's just me and how much I love the game.
So what is it?
3.8.
5?
3.8. My enjoyment level is 5, but the game itself is probably about 3.8. Pikachu hats.
Daz,
All right,
you want to
cool.
hand out some gears or whatever you want to hand out?
I'll sit with the Pikachus. Look, I went in. At the start, I didn't get into it too much. But once I got the hang of it and what everything does and, you know, the power-ups and that crap, I started to really enjoy it. Besides the hit detection, which I do think is a bit full-on, besides that, I think that's what maybe loses it for me. It's not even about the difficulty, because it is a fun game. But I will give it 3.5 Pikachus for this one. Mats!
Well, I'm going to hand it some Pikachus as well, because that's what we're doing today, so I'm going to have to follow your lead. And I would have to say the same as Daz, 3.5. I mean, I'm not a Brawler fan, but it's definitely above average for me, you know, my personal preferences. And yes, I did find the hit detection to be a bit iffy, and also sometimes knowing how to guard, but that's just me lacking experience in Brawlers, I think, really. And it's kind of my problem with Brawlers, that sometimes it's difficult lining up and you know, nailing it down how you should attack the enemies without missing and punching in the air. And that's kind of what makes it frustrating for me. But 3.5, absolutely, it was a fun game. I got into it quite quickly, started enjoying it. And there are far worse Brawlers out there that I cannot stand. So yeah, this is definitely above average. 3.5. So guys, thank you for joining me here today and playing some Metamorphic Force. It's been fun.
It's a pleasure as always.
A big pleasure. Thank you for that. It's been fun. I like this. I'm in the zone of people that I like, and you can't get much better than being in the zone of people that you share the same type of passions with.
Damn straight.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a big thank you to the audience. Thanks for watching, and hope to catch you in the next video. Bye bye.
See ya, mate.